welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, September 10th, 2015. I'm Lafren Fraser with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is advocating the importance of reaching out to refugees from the war-torn countries in the Middle East. In an interview with SVG-TV, Prime Minister Gonsalves says what is unfolding in these countries is a sad state of affairs. He commended European and Caribbean countries for reaching out to those who are fleeing their homelands for a better life, and says this country is also extending accommodation but is doing so for a reasonable amount.
Reasonable numbers. If you have an extended family of 2 or 3 extended families, there may be 5, 6, 7, 8 people per family, and the Syrian brothers and sisters here want to accommodate them. They bring members of their family from time to time. I am sure that an accommodation could be made, but we have to bear in mind the smallness of our society. But I agree with Pope Francis that we all have to reach out. And we mustn't reach out only to Syrians, but reach out to refugees generally.
The Prime Minister says, similar to other refugees, the appropriate background checks will be made.
But when you're receiving anybody, it would be good for us to know who they are so we can check them out. Because not just only we check them out, but our friends, the British and the Americans, can help us in providing the requisite security information as to whether there is anything known adversely against these individuals, so that even while you're reaching out in a human way, like the Good Samaritan, you know, it's not that the person is robbed and beaten by a robber, but it's the victim from another cause, you know, ISIL and the Civil War and so on. And of course, there are people from Dominica, given the tragedy there, who may wish to come to St. Vincent and Grenadines. Well, they can come under the existing regulations.
And those from the local Syrian and Lebanese community say they are distraught by what is happening in their homelands and are asking Vincentians to continually pray for peace. For months now, the people of Syria and other Middle Eastern countries have been plagued by war and division by oppressive regimes and have been fleeing their homelands for a better life, flocking to many European countries as migrants. According to local businessman Faiz Musa, who has been here since 1969, the move by governments, including this country's administration, to accept his people as refugees is commendable.
Very nice of any government, any Caribbean islands taking refugees. It's a good thing. You know, Syria right now divided in pieces, and many groups are taking peace in Syria. So that is why the refugees are leaving the country to many countries in Europe and all over the world. And there's war going on, plus another war, which is the economical war. Everything expensive in that country right now. People with salaries from the government cannot survive. Include only people with a lot of money could survive, but the one with a lot of money all leave the country also. So the country right now in a bad stage. The government not controlling properly because of the division in the country. But let's hope for the best. We hope in future things will come back normal, and we pray to God for that.
Musa further states that the concern of many of his people is getting to safety, and when his colleagues here try to help their families back home, it becomes risky as sometimes they get robbed of their monies.
The others feel very bad just as me, but what can we do? I mean, we're trying to see if there's any family want to come here. We will always go to the PM, and the PM always help us. But right now, maybe some will come in, but right now is not yet. nobody asking us. But I think in future, people will like to come.
You also mentioned that you sometimes try to send monies to help your families.
We do send money through Western Union, but Western Union keep dropping the rate. Before you could send 3,000, cut down now to 1,800 at a time. So it is very difficult again to send money. And when you send money, also who received the money in Syria, also afraid of kidnapping or somebody take it away from them. So it is problems. But we pray to God the problem will solve in future. We don't know yet.
The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, is advising Vincentians that information received from the local meteorological office, or SVG Met, states persistent light to moderate rain and isolated pockets of moderate to heavy showers and thunderstorms have been affecting the country. The Met office says these conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow, with the Northern Grenadines and St. Vincent experiencing persistent rainfall. NEMO is urging residents living in flood and landslide-prone areas to be vigilant and to take the necessary precautions, as already saturated soils may lead to further landslides and localized flooding. NEMO is also advising the general public to continue to monitor the weather conditions and to exercise caution when driving on the roads. Residents and motorists living and commuting near rivers from Mount Young to Rabica are asked to be extremely cautious, as already swollen rivers may result in localized flooding. Residents and motorists living and traveling through Belmont, Mariquah, and Lomans Windward are also asked to exercise caution, as those areas are generally prone to landslides. Localized flooding has been reported in Bequia, and NEMO is urging all residents of Bequia to be vigilant. The National Emergency Management Organization will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates from the Meteorological Office. Two men who were wanted by the police for a spate of robberies in the Barley area have been arrested and charged. Julius Gloucester, 30 years old, and Philon Gordon, 34, both of Barley, reportedly armed themselves with guns, cutlasses, and stones and deprived two St. Lucia nationals of one wallet containing 1,100 EC dollars in cash, one cellular phone, and a watch on August 26, 2015. Both men were this morning escorted to the Serious Offences Court on two separate charges of robbery, which they were not allowed to plead to as they were laid indictable. The police prosecution had no objection to their bail, which was allowed in the sum of $6,000 each with one surety. They were ordered to surrender all travel documents to the court and to report to the Barley Police Station on Fridays between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and not to leave the state without the permission of the court. November 23rd is the date set for the preliminary inquiry. In more local news, head of pediatrics at the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital, Dr. Bharati Datta, is urging parents to ensure that they do their best to give children the best medical care. Dr. Datta, who is part of the World Pediatric Project, or the WPP mission, conducting surgeries here this week on at least 50 children from the OECS, says children with various ailments who are in need of surgery need all the support they can get.
It's traumatic. I wouldn't lie. Every surgery is traumatic. It's traumatic for the parent and it's traumatic for the patients. So, but once they are prepared, well, that once they come to St. Vincent and they're seen by the specialist, there's a possibility they will have the surgery. The preparation helps a lot, both mentally, emotionally, and that helps them to tide over that initial trauma. But I wouldn't lie to you, it is a traumatic event. So our job is to make it as easy as possible. They stay as comfortable as possible. But the parents just need to focus on the reason why they have come here, and that's to get the surgery done and out of the way. So even if they are a bit uncomfortable and a few things which are not similar to like home, then I would tell them to bear with us. We are trying to help you with the best of what we have.
The head of pediatrics also advised parents to check with their local medical practitioners first to help guide them in respect to the health opportunities that are available.
I mean, they undergo complex surgeries over here and they get the best of help. I mean, these specialists who have been coming for years now are the very best in their areas. And to get them here in St. Vincent and at no cost is really something, make the necessary referrals, because like this morning a mother came with a child who was bleeding from the nose. So every now and then we would get a referral which is not suitable to this at this point in time. But of course, if we can help them, then they need to go through the right route. Go to your doctors, get them to refer the cases to me, and I will make sure that they are sent to the appropriate missions. That's my role.
This afternoon, the Rotary Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines donated wheelchairs to a number of individuals and organizations. The wheelchairs were donated to the club under an agreement made with the club's past president and the International Wheelchair Foundation. According to President of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent, Shafia London Williams, one container recently arrived with wheelchairs with an estimated value of $20,000 US. So far, wheelchairs were donated to 4 individuals, the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital and Liat 1974 Limited. London says as time goes by, an approximate donation of over 100 wheelchairs will be made to needy persons with restricted movement, as well as institutions that cater to the needs of these individuals.
We will be making a donation of 10 of those wheelchairs to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, where we know many persons at times have restricted movements, whether from surgeries or as part of their medical condition at the time, and so we saw it fit to make a donation to the hospital where the need is greatest. We have partnered also with the corporate entity Liat, where for many times we have activities, and Liat has always worked with us providing discounts, etc. And we know from time to time persons with limited mobility face challenges in getting to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so we will be making a donation to our corporate partner Liat of 2 of our wheelchairs. There are also private individuals who will be receiving these wheelchairs, and we have a representative today. And as time goes on, as I said before, persons can contact the Rotary Club of St. Vincent, and we would ensure that they receive a wheelchair once we deem them to be physically incapable and would require a wheelchair for movement.
London Williams furthermore encourages Vincentians to continue to support the Rotary Club, which will assist them in fulfilling its mandate of developing communities here through charity.
Many persons are aware that we have a number of fundraisers throughout the years. We, for example, have a boat ride, and we have 2 upcoming fundraisers, a wine and cheese event, as well as an independence boat ride. And many sometimes wonder, what do we do with these funds? So this wheelchair project is an example of why we go out into the community and ask for support. We use these funds to ensure that we are helping those in need. So we ask that the public continue to support the Rotary Club of St. Vincent in our endeavors, so that we in turn can continue to assist persons who are in need.
Hospital Administrator Grace Walters, who received the donation of 10 wheelchairs on behalf of the hospital and Ministry of Health, expressed her gratitude to the Rotary Club of St. Vincent and added that the wheelchairs will make the job easier for the hospital staff.
The donation of the wheelchairs, which will assist our patients who are immobile, who are, well, for one reason or another, needing to go to various parts of the hospital. They're not really incapacitated, but a wheelchair would facilitate easy movement and safe movement from one area to another. But one of the things that we do is try to assist persons in the community from time to time to by giving. So we just give wheelchairs at times, and sometimes we lend the wheelchairs with the intention of getting them back, but you know how that is. But the Rotary Club is assisting with giving us 5 large wheelchairs which will assist our bigger patients. We are very thankful, and we continue to be grateful to the club for all it continues to do for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and as well for the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Environment.
Meanwhile, Dominic Patterson, a representative of Liat 1974 Limited, a recipient of 2 wheelchairs, expressed his thanks on behalf of Liat and the E.T. Joshua Airport. Patterson says that this will help to improve the services that Liat provides its customers, adding that a donation like this is timely and greatly appreciated.
I would like to say thank you for the donation of 2 large wheelchairs with mountain bike wheels, which will definitely assist in moving immobile elderly passengers from the airport terminal building to the aircraft, and from the aircraft to the airport terminal building. Because of the distance and the terrain of the ramp, quite often the wheels to the wheelchairs go bad quickly. So this donation of 2 wheelchairs from the Rotary Club is timely and is greatly appreciated. We would ensure that it's put to good use. We welcome the collaboration between Rotary Club, the social club, and the corporate business community in St. Vincent, in this case LIAT, and DET Joshua Airport. And we look forward to continue collaborating with you on similar activities.